So all of these areas with Hawaiian names, sometimes I like to try to connect the dot, put a face to the name, the street name that we see, the signs that we see. So behind me is Kuakini Highway. Now who was Kuakini? Kuakini was the brother of Queen Ka'ahumanu, John Adam Ke'ia Palaoko Kuakini. But when Kuakini was born, he was born with the name Kalua Ikona. He chose the name John Adams after the US president that was in office at the time, who was John Quincy Adams. So if you're wondering why did Kuakini choose the name John Adams, well, with the introduction of Christianity, the Hawaiians were encouraged to take British or American names. So like an example of his royal manner, he chose the name John Adams. So he adopted the name as well as other customs of the United States and Europe. He was an advisor to King Kamehameha I in the early stages of the Kingdom of Hawaii. So John Adam Ke'ia Palaoko Kuakini was a big man. He was about 6'3", and at the later stages of life, he was about 400 pounds. 6'3", 400-pound Hawaiian. And he was also once the governor. Actually, he was the first governor appointed by Queen Ka'ahumanu of the island of Hawaii. So right here behind me, we have the Kuakini Highway. And right beside the Kuakini Highway, we have the Kekua Okalani Gym. Now, who was Kekua Okalani? He was a nephew of King Kamehameha I. So he sought and fought to preserve the ancient rigid Hawaiian kapu system after the death of King Kamehameha I in 1819. Now, Kekua Okalani was the reason for the Battle of Kuamo. Now, that battle was fought in Keoho. Yes, right here in Keoho at the Kuamo battlegrounds. So this is where it all happened. The double hull canoes out there, and Kekua Okalani and his forces back there. They fought. Kekua Okalani tried to preserve the old Hawaiian religion, the kapu system, while Alexander Liholiho and his forces, backed by the Queen Ka'ahumanu, wanted to abolish the ancient Hawaiian religion, the kapu system. They fought back and forth, back and forth. At first, Kekua Okalani had the upper hand, and Liholiho's forces had to retreat. So after they retreated, they reinforced their double-hulled canoes with cannons. That probably was the deciding factor which led to the downfall of the religion, the ancient Hawaiian religion, the kapu system. Yes, Alexander Liholiho and his forces defeated Kekua Okalani and his forces. Kekua Okalani and his wife, Chiefess Monono, she went to battle with him. She stood by her man. She died with him, and they are now interred in the Leke burial grounds behind me. So this is where the Hawaiian religion died. This is where the kapu system essentially took its last breath. Here in Keoho, at the Kuamo battlegrounds. So this location was a pivotal point, a V in the road, a cross section of the ancient system and the new modern way of thinking. The Queen and her son Liholiho wanted to go in the direction of the newer, modern Christian way of thinking, while Kekua Okalani wanted to stick with the rigid system, the kapu system that King Kamehameha wanted. So this is the end of Ali'i Drive. The ironic thing about that is, this is also the end of the Hawaiian religion. The Hawaiian religion died over here at the end of Ali'i Drive. the irony in that statement. Ali'i Drive, the royal drive, the noble drive, ended where the Hawaiian religion died. The kapu system died at the end of Ali'i Drive. Ane Keaho Kalole. Who was she? Actually, her name is Analea Keaho Kalole, which was given to her at birth by none other than Queen Ka'ahumanu. She was a matriarch and a chiefess to the house of Kalakaua that ruled the kingdom of Hawaii. Analea had some very, very notable children. One of her kids, Queen Lydia Liliuokalani, her son, King David Kalakaua, Princess Anna Kaiolani, and Miriam Likelike. You know the Likelike Hawi on Oahu? Yes, that's Miriam Likelike, the daughter of Analea Keaho Kalole, which is the highway right here that I'm walking next to. Okay, the next stop is the Queen Ka'ahumanu Highway. Not the Queen K, Queen Ka'ahumanu. Yes, Queen Ka'ahumanu Highway. That's what I'm driving on right now, the Queen Ka'ahumanu Highway. It's 33 miles long from Kona to Kuai. She was a favorite wife of King Kamehameha I, and also she was very politically powerful. She was a Kuhina Nui. Now what is a Kuhina Nui? It's a powerful political office in the Kingdom of Hawaii that ran from 1819 to 1864. Now 1819 is when King Kamehameha died. So after her husband died, she still had a lot of political clout within the Kingdom of Hawaii. So when you're driving around these roads around here on the Big Island, in Kona, anywhere in Hawaii, and you see all these Hawaiian names to these places and roads and highways, it's really interesting to see the faces, the people behind the names of these highways, these roadways, these villages, these beaches. Yeah, it's real fascinating when you look into the history of the names. And that's what I'm doing right now, giving you some insight to the names of some of these places. So you can go just about anywhere in Hawaii, no matter where you're at, and look up the general area, history of the general area that you're in. And chances are you're going to find some amazing history of what went on, what took place back in old Hawaii. So yeah, you should check it out wherever you're at in the islands. Look up the history of the general area that you're in and see what you can come up with.